What do you say, my friends? Let's get after it. Button jacket and go. What we call in the law a red... What's that? That's a fish, Bob. A red herring. We all know the Billy Joel song, We Didn't Start the Fire, right? It's always burning since the world's been turning. Another line in that song is, we didn't light it, but we tried to fight it. What do you say, everybody? Let's get after it. As rare as a unicorn.
There is something wrong with him. And leave the unicorns out of it. Something wrong with him. All right. Let's get after it! Trump wandered into NATO's quiet campsite in Brussels like a big orange bear on a silent night. Everybody was sleeping soundly, having the Obama dream where he tells you everything's all right. And then Trump speaks, and instantly the media and every EU bureaucrat goes from a sound snore to hair on fire, with predictions of total destruction of Western civilization. By breakfast, NATO was a wreck, and we were abandoning the Germans to the Russians. Reminds me of a movie.
In a world where many countries aren't paying what they should.
Many countries are not paying what they should.
Where many countries owe us a tremendous amount of money for many years back.
Many countries owe us a tremendous amount of money for many years back.
One man had a plan to blow the world away.
He is going to fly into Brussels like a seagull. He is going to defecate all over everything, squawk, and fly away.
When the world tried to pass the buck on the good old US of A, a man with a plan brought a storm of logic.
I think that these countries have to step it up, not over a 10-year period, they have to step it up immediately.
Nude man on a unicorn snowboarding through a ring of fire while flexing presents Donald Trump, Angela Merkel, and Ian Ziering as Steve. Trump NATO, defecating on everything in Brussels like a seagull.
Hasn't anyone noticed a pattern in these phony panics yet? Definitely not the media, who are like infants. Trump holds his fingers in front of his eyes and says, peekaboo, and they all scream. Works every time. Until he feeds them some strained peas, and then everything's okay. Actually, tremendous progress has been made.
Tremendous progress has been made. Everyone's agreed to substantially up their commitment. They're going to up it at levels that they've never thought of before.
Right. In other words, they never thought of keeping their promises to pay their fair share. And that's the media's real complaint here, that we risked being rude, asking for what's owed to us in public. Oh, we're such hopeless rubes. It's like when the dinner bill comes, Germany is that dude who heads to the John. Leaving you to pay, and he expects you will because you're an American. But he never dined with Trump, who won't let you go to the bathroom. He will demand cash to your face. Germany's tab isn't paid on NATO, which was designed, of course, to curb Soviet expansion, yet the country's making massive oil deals with the Russians. Sorry, I think Trump has a right to call Germany out for skipping out to do lines with Putin. Pipelines. Now, Trump wants everyone to up their defense spending. Why would he do that? Maybe to get them to meet the target they already failed to meet? Could he be, perhaps, a stable genius?
I'm a very stable genius.
Yes. Now, as Trump tutors us on NATO, what is England's response?
Here's a rather amusing way for protesters to show they're not so keen on his visit here to the UK. Here you have it, the Donald Trump inflatable baby.
They have come a long way since Churchill. A child's response to adult actions, kids playing with a balloon. Now, Trump is supposed to meet with Putin, which means that Monday, Brian Stelter and Christiane Amanpour will once again put on their chicken suits and tell us it's the end of the world. And already they've forgotten the Peter Strzok hearing. Remember that?
I don't recall writing that text.
If I could give you a Purple Heart, I would. Parliamentary inquiry.
The time is controlled by the gentleman from
Parliamentary inquiry.
A parliamentary inquiry is not in order.
Because you don't want it to be you and Lisa Page.
Mr. Chairman,
and you don't want it to be the FBI.
Are we not given 5 minutes to answer questions? We have indulged this harassment.
We endured 15 minutes of badgering of the witness. Can you share with us
The
the
gentleman
rules
is not
that
in
you're
order.
making up as you go along?
The gentleman will suspend.
If it's so frustrating, answer the question.
The gentleman has already answered that question. So now the gentleman from Maryland, Mr. Raskin, is recognized for 5 minutes.
I can't stop. Is he an FBI agent or a bobblehead? All right. But that hearing, it created a comparison with Trump. It's a group of useless hacks versus the sole rebel. Dysfunction versus Dirty Harry. Ballet slippers versus cleats. A Prius versus a monster truck. At the NATO summit, we got a guy, Trump, revealing a hard truth. With the hearing, we got an FBI lovebird shielded by his white knight Democrats. So after all the mainstream media freakouts, maybe they should stop screaming and listen to the grown-up who might be onto something? I mean, I never knew about that pipeline, and now I do. Again, Trump has dragged something out of Europe's back room and put it on stage, and he didn't give two that he might have violated some decorum. That's his job. He's our jerk. True. The fact that he pissed off so many people should endear him to us. He's not interested in being Times Man of the Year, just a leader of Americans. So he left the summit with pockets full, about $40 billion. If it had been Hillary, all she'd leave with is the silverware. It's true. And meanwhile, while Obama might have been a lullaby, Trump is a wake-up call. A sex pistol in the land of ABBA. It's true. It's true. What the punk movement did to music in the 70s, Trump is now doing to politics. And if you miss that now, it's like you're still listening to Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Which I Let's welcome tonight's guest, shall we? He's so sharp he can't hold a balloon. Washington Times opinion editor wearing Sears sucker. Fox News contributor Charlie Hurt. Yeah. Like falling from a tall building onto hard cement, he'll crack you up. Comedian Joe Machi. She's mopey but never dopey. National Review reporter Katherine Timpf. He once tripped over the Great Wall of China. Former WWE superstar and my massive sidekick, Tyrus. Charlie, has Trump ruined the entire world order?
Yes, and thank God.
Yeah.
But you hit all of it so well in that monologue. I mean, it's amazing. The guy, people say that, oh, he doesn't like NATO. He's trying to undermine NATO. He wants to attack our allies. But all the evidence that people put forth for why he hates NATO and why he wants to undermine our allies is actually evidence of the exact opposite. Mm-hmm. He's trying to get more money for NATO.
Right.
He's trying to get support for NATO. And the thing about the pipeline is a perfect example where this is a guy he's not afraid to talk about anything. Mm-hmm. And he really does educate people about it. And it is important. I think it's vitally important to understand that Germany is spending money to basically finance this great, huge enemy that we're all worried about.
Exactly. Exactly. And while the whole point of NATO was to protect ourselves against the people they're actually funding.
Exactly. And then their heads explode when Donald Trump calls them out on it.
I know. It's crazy. Tyrus, there are people who see Trump as a jerk, and we get that.
I mean, there's people who see you as a jerk. I mean, I don't know any of them.
Yes.
better not ever get hold of my texts, make me get in front of Congress. That would I think I kind of feel for Germany a little bit because they're kind of the world's bad guy. Like,
yeah.
They're always going to be the guy in the room, like, who's the worst person in the room? It's always Germany kind of got to wear that hat. You know what I'm saying? So when he was like, well, they're buying oil from Russia, Germany's like, oh. Damn it. Like, they never say, like, Germany saved more puppies than any other nation. Germany's doing backdoor dealings with Russia again. Weird.
Yeah,
Strange.
Exactly.
Once again, Germany's the bad guy. And I think it hurt a lot of people's, like, they were all, like, squirming, and I think, like, France and England were wondering what dirt he had on them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what's he going to say next? You know, I like, Donald literally went in with a dirt, like, he brought up everyone sleeping, who they slept with in the last 6 years. Apparently, Germany's been sleeping with Russia on the down low, and he put it out there, and all he wants to do is talk.
Yeah.
So Germany's laying pipe with Russia, so.
Nicely done. Joe, what are your thoughts on this? Are you comforted by our stable genius president?
I am, and when I read John Kerry's criticism, I thought it was almost like Trump criticism Mad Libs, where he filled it out without knowing anything that happened, because he said that it was humiliating to ask our NATO partners to pay their fair share, and he was glorifying our enemy, Russia, when he was doing the exact opposite. If he wants to look at what embarrassed NATO, it was probably something more along the lines of allowing Russia to overtake the Crimea and doing nothing.
Yes, which was what John Kerry did. Exactly.
I should have said that.
No, I was just helping you out. Kat, what do you think about these British protests? Do you think they're having any effect?
Yeah, I definitely think that making someone into a giant baby is like the best argument ever, and you're definitely going to win. No, absolutely not. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I don't understand why anyone in America is mad about this at all, any of the NATO stuff, because Trump got us paid. He's getting us paid here.
Yeah.
And I don't understand because, you know, they might not like him, but if I had to choose between someone liking me and someone paying me, I would probably... I mean, I would probably choose them liking me because I'm, like, desperate for self-approval. But I understand that the right choice would be to choose the money. So I'm glad that that's what President Trump's done on our behalf.
I believe I have paid people to like me. Yes, yes. In some countries where it's legal.
And the other thing is that, you know, what is it? Why do the British have such a hard time with American sovereignty? We settled this once before.
Yes.
And kind of won.
Yeah, exactly. It's such a stereotype, though. It's the ugly American coming to the snooty elite Europeans and turning the table over, but the problem is we're always kind of right. I guess.
As Winston Churchill said, Americans always do the right thing after exhausting every other possible option.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way of putting it. Who said that?
Winston Churchill.
Who's he?
He was the model for the baby protest. Oh, I'm lying. I don't care who you have playing them; they all have to wear a pillow. Am I right? Like,
Joe, I want a last word from you. I kind of think that it's important to have a jerk for a president because it's like having an a-hole lawyer in court. Like, I mean, if America is a defendant in court, you don't want a nice guy. You want somebody who's like, you know, going to go out there. Like, you don't want your lawyer to be liked by anybody. You don't even want to like your lawyer.
Well, maybe that's why so many people keep saying it's so bad, because they actually like what he's doing, but they don't want the blame. I do that.
That's it. Yeah, you want somebody else to take the blame.
we want to be good cop, and he's bad cop.
Exactly. All right. Don't forget, you can pre-order my new book, The Gutfeld Monologues. The Gutfeld Monologues. It's in store July 31st, and the book tour starts August 4th. I'll be in Fort Worth and Dallas, the Woodlands, Texas. August 5th, you can see the rest of the current schedule because it's really boring. If I read every city, that we would waste the show and everybody would be angry. So go to ggutfeld.com for the latest tour information. All right, still to come. Is he unqualified or evil? Or both? Our potential next Supreme Court justice. They're working up a sweat to find dirt on Brett. This week, President Trump nominated Judge Brett Kavanaugh, that's his real name, to be the next Supreme Court justice. Seems to be a decent guy. He coaches youth basketball. He feeds the homeless with actual food. Not like my Uncle Steve. Anyway, but that doesn't fit the left's narrative. See, he must be a threat to Earth's survival. So the media is out to find the skeletons, and here's what they found. In his high school yearbook, he called himself the treasurer of the Keg City Club. 100 kegs or bust. He drinks beer. That's horrifying. That's not all. And your kids may need to leave the room for this one. According to the Washington Post, Kavanaugh got into serious debt on tickets to baseball games. Washington Nationals baseball games. This man is a monster. Makes me wonder what else could be out there.
Is Brett Kavanaugh unqualified or evil? Born February 12, 1965, the very same day the United States government conducted a nuclear test in the Nevada desert. A coincidence? Who knows? But it seems Kavanaugh was already on the road to war. As a teen, Kavanaugh would attend Georgetown Prep, along with Dylan Baker, who played a murderous KGB agent in the hit show The Americans. His real name, Vitaly Sorokin. If only the Russian connections stopped there. Kavanaugh was later confirmed to the D.C. Appeals Court in May 2006. The same month, Kentucky Derby winner Barbaro suffered an injury during the Preakness Stakes. 8 months later, he was euthanized. Where was Kavanaugh during this? Russia, perhaps? Good question. Perhaps we should ask it in Russian. And finally, Kavanaugh's middle name is Michael. Brett Michael Kavanaugh. What's missing? Well, you can't spell Supreme without an S, and add an S to Michael, and you have Brett Michaels, lead singer of a band called Poison. Poison, a substance often used by foreign agents to kill critics. A coincidence or collusion? Brett Michaels, leader of Poison, first and middle name of Kavanaugh, who won Celebrity Apprentice in 2010. The host, Mr. Donald Trump, who, after nominating Kavanaugh, will exit the country to meet a man named Vlad Putin. Nuclear bombs, the KGB, animal cruelty, poison, Putin, and Trump. Is it no longer that Brett Kavanaugh is simply unqualified, but that he is evil? You be the judge. We're just asking questions.
Makes sense. Hey. It's all we do here is ask questions. I don't know, he might not be evil, but I mean, after looking at that, I wouldn't let him near my family. And I don't even have a family. But if I had a family, he's not coming near it. All right, Joe, does Brett Kavanaugh frighten you?
No, Greg, I'm as comfortable with Brett Kavanaugh as when I go into a jacuzzi with my shirt still on. All the dirt they dig up on this guy is pretty lame. I mean, Washington Nationals fan, I expect him to recuse himself. When I talk about how the Pittsburgh Pirates are the best team in baseball, go Pirates. And he's the treasurer of the Keg Club. Well, that's good. He's good with... That's the responsible guy in the Keg Club. He handles the money.
It's true. Yeah, he's the only... without him, you wouldn't have the Keg Club.
I was never treasurer.
What?
Anything. I was never treasurer of anything.
No, neither was I. Yeah. I was nothing. You know what's great about this? So I know his vices are baseball, beer, and debt, which makes him American. I wish my dark secrets were this benign.
But you know, I mean, I would like to say that that thing was absurd. That commercial was absurd. It's really not. If you listen to what the Democrats said, millions of people are going to die because of this man.
Right, exactly.
And millions of people, their lives are going to be threatened by this man.
Yes.
It's insane. I know. You can't out absurd them.
No, I know. We tried. You know, Kat, most people don't get into debt on baseball. It's 8 balls. Right? So shouldn't we be happy it's baseball and not 8 balls?
It is a very strange thing to get into debt over. I mean, what kind of tickets was he buying? And was he just at every game all the time, forever and always? I don't really understand. But yeah, it's pretty harmless. It's pretty harmless. Mm-hmm. I don't like the drinking in high school thing, though.
Really?
No.
No.
I never drank in high school.
No, you didn't?
No, no one ever invited me. to any party. So I drank a lot of Slurpees and went for walks in the woods.
You know, that's such a loser's mentality. If nobody wants to drink with you, you simply drink alone. That's the winning way of being a drinker.
I'll be sure to teach my future children that.
Yes, yes. All right, Tyrus.
Yep.
One day, someone who went to high school in the social media age will be nominated to the Supreme Court.
Got it.
And so all of their mistakes will be up on the bathroom wall. We're going to be looking at half-naked selfies of the next Supreme Court judge.
Or worse, just tons of selfies like workout day, me in the gym, and he's not in shape anymore. Like he's lying. You know what? You asked a question about being afraid. I'm naturally afraid of judges because they can send you to jail for a really long time or give away half your stuff to her without even hearing your side of the damn argument. See your kids via FaceTime and monitored visits and stuff because you're big. Maybe use the F-bomb every once in a while when you get frustrated, but he doesn't have the right to judge me even though he is a judge. So I try to, he's a judge, so I'm going to give him his break. But what kills me is this dude's been a judge for a long time, right?
Yeah.
He just now has to give references?
It's true.
I mean, damn, he's been like, what, 12 years or something like that?
Yeah.
And if he likes baseball, that's great. And it's a long season.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's even longer if you're a Nationals fan. Like, they can't make the playoffs, and when they do, they're swept. So you know what? The liberals should love this because he supports a loser. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's faithfully there.
Wow.
I mean, let's not forget who the Nationals used to be.
Yeah.
The Expos. It only gets worse.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about
They couldn't
Canadians.
sell seats in Canada.
Yes.
Hence, we got them.
Yeah, I forgot about the
And the only guy buying tickets every day apparently is this judge, which is...
I just can't imagine being this reporter, having been tasked with this expose on this man. And
Yes.
the worst that you could dig up is he likes baseball a lot.
Yeah. Dude, Chris Cillizza, is that how you say his name? CNN was like, somebody better, he acted like it was a bombshell.
And do we think he may have bought a beer at a baseball game?
Yeah, I think, I don't know, and he might have smuggled in some apple pie.
And it's a funny moment to reflect on. You realize that there was a guy between Robert Bork and Justice Kennedy, that Reagan nominated who couldn't get through, and it was Ginsburg, Judge Ginsburg, who couldn't make it onto the court because they found out he'd smoked pot once.
Well, I forgot about that.
How far we have come.
I know, the progress.
How far we're going to go back when a guy can't get in because he likes the Nationals?
You know, his biggest flaw is that he's goofy. He's the neighbor that you can borrow like lawn care stuff from and not return it, and he's too scared to come over to your place to ask. That's the perfect neighbor.
He's too nice.
He's too nice. All right. Still to come, a third White House run for Hillary. God, I hope so. It's gonna happen. Like a man on a toilet after a chili eating contest, Hillary Clinton has unfinished business. Thank you. They like the poop jokes. See? Take that, America. New York Post Michael Goodwin suggests Hillary may try an actual comeback in 2020. His proof, fundraising emails touting her Trump-resisting super PAC. Hillary sending emails. Old habits die hard. On Friday, at the American Federation of Teachers, whatever, she had nothing but good things to say about the country. Just kidding.
I believe with all my heart that the test of any society is how we treat the most vulnerable among us, particularly our youngest, our oldest, our people with disabilities. And right now, my friends, our country is failing that test. We have never seen such organized cruelty, disdain, and contempt for those values.
Ugh, she's like a pink joy buzzer. Anti-joy buzzer, but it still hurts. I get it. Hillary should want a rematch. She has to defend her legacy. I mean, first she loses to an unknown Barack Obama, and then she loses to this guy. I'd run again, too. Oh, my. Look, Rocky Balboa fought Apollo Creed again, and he won, and that really happened. But Rocky trained. He earned it. Will Hillary earn it, or will her lazy entitlement cause her to blow it again? Who knows? But I do know, if you're Hillary, you're thinking, I got to take the chance, roll the dice, go big or go home. Right, Scooter McGee?
I made a mistake!
That you did, Scooter. That you did, Kat. Jeez. She should do it, right?
Well, if I were her friend, I would probably tell her not to do it again.
Yes.
I know there's that saying, the third time's the charm. But I think that the saying should be, if you try to do a thing 2 times and you don't do the thing, maybe you're bad at the thing. It's not quite as catchy, but I will work on it.
Yeah.
I understand why she wants to run again, though, because she's been in politics forever. She doesn't know how to do anything else.
Right.
So I think that what she should do is run for, like, president of, like, the PTA at one of her grandkids' schools.
Oh, God, that would be great.
She can do all the things she loves doing, like spending bajillions of dollars on ads in the surrounding area and then still losing because she never actually goes to the school.
Yes.
And she can just keep doing all of her favorite stuff that way.
Joe, do we need a rematch?
I don't think we need to see this sequel any more than I need to see another Star Wars sequel. But I'm surprised.
Be careful with that.
We got a lot of Ewoks out there.
But I'll tell you what, Greg, the only time Hillary Clinton ever won an office is when she ran in a state she didn't live in, New York, so maybe she should try to replace Justin Trudeau.
Nice.
I'm confused.
They do wear the same pantsuit. Hey, Tyrus, what do you think?
I've said this all along. I've been like, leave this alone. Stop poking this bear. And it's a big bear, and now it's to be a big white-haired bear. And we're going to be – I don't want to see the rematch. I don't think it helps. That type of a campaign is going to help Trump be a better president when he wins. But I think it's just going to make – I'm worried about the country. I'm worried about the neighborhood I live in. And
yeah.
The division is just starting to die down where people are getting over it, and now you're going to bring it back. And she just – she's scarier than the judge, and I don't like this. My 2 bugaboos: bear traps, somebody drinking out my milk, and white-haired Hillary Clinton.
All right, so there's no way the Sanders faction will be okay with it. It'll be like being mugged and then hiring the mugger to handle your finances. Like, I mean, after what happened with the debates and all that stuff.
So, but here's the calculus that she's thinking about. She's thinking about the fact, look how the disarray the Democrats are in.
Yes.
And the field will be so splintered, anybody who can get 35, 25% of the Democratic vote has got the nomination locked up. But here's the thing that to me is so terrifying about this, is you look at what the deep state did, you look at what all of these people did to, and I do believe that they did things to rig the election or tried to rig the election, when they thought Donald Trump had no chance of winning.
Yeah.
Now that they know he can win,
yeah.
Imagine the knives that will come out.
Yes. Oh, it's going to be crazy. It's
if
why
she runs again.
Yeah, and I think that's why Tyrus is probably right that it could get scary. But think about this.
And not for the thing. He's going to beat her 10 out of 10. He'll beat her. Anyone will beat her. She's just not an electable person. But us on the ground, us in the neighborhoods and cities and schools and stuff, we're going to have to deal with this diversity.
Look,
it's not fair.
But I got to end this. But on from her perspective, her legacy is not going to be First Lady or Secretary of State. It's going to be LTT, lost to Trump. That'll be the first line of her obituary. It'll be known for losing to Donald Trump. Mine will be loved unicorns a bit too much. Hence the accident.
Yep.
Trump would love it. What a spectacle, I'm telling you. This would be the hugest political election in history, like when Marcia and Greg ran in the Brady Bunch. Oh, man. All right, still to come. Don't call me a cowboy. It could be sexist. We discuss the latest social justice outrage. That's next. They're out to destroy. the cowboy. Some professors and students are outraged over a University of Wyoming marketing campaign bearing the slogan, "The world needs more cowboys." Now, for those of you not from Wyoming, it's a state. But also, the school's mascot is a cowboy. But critics call the phrase sexist and racist. One professor says the word cowboy makes you picture a straight white male. I'd add a hot one, too. Anyway, the professor says, really, for the past 20 years, it's not been acceptable to use the generic male to pretend that includes females. Shut up! The school spokesperson responded, it's not gender specific. A cowboy is not what you are, but who you are. Anyway, here's video proof the world needs more cowboys. Go. Go. Rest in peace. Tyrus, when you think of cowboy, do you think of straight white men?
Actually, no, I don't. I don't think of straight white men at all. There's literally no reason in my brain to ever pop like, wow, that's a great...
So I guess we're not renting.
You know what? I'm fine with there being a need for more cowboys.
Yeah.
I think all the PC just need to go away. Like, this is ridiculous. It's Wyoming.
Yeah.
I've been to Wyoming.
Yeah.
Unless you're a wolf, a cowboy, or a tourist stuck trying to get out of Wyoming, there's not much else to do but to herd cattle, drink beer, and avoid wolves. I mean, this is what's wrong with America. And this is exactly why Democrats can never win an election. This type of, all this energy and all this negativity on a name or a nickname. And history lesson from Tyrus. The first cowboys were black, punk. They were black. It was the worst job you could get in the West, to herd a rich white man's cows. A lot of straight white guys weren't jumping in for that. Wasn't a big thing. Like, I got to Texas and I'm gonna go stand in the sun for 14 hours a day and smell and push cows for a guy with money. The white guys were smart. They didn't do that. It wasn't until you saw the movies that all of a sudden white guys, and they got breaks and trailers, but the real cowboys was broke brothers running from the South. So the world needs more cowboys. Damn it.
Damn it. History. Joe, what side do you fall on in this?
I agree with Tyrus, because this doesn't have to do with a pay-wage gap or Me Too. This is about a college that seems to support country music, which I do not, but I'll tell you this. The real scandal here is that they spent $500,000 to get this slogan, "The world needs more cowboys." If you need the slogan again, University of Wyoming, I will come up with one for $498,000, a savings of $2,000.
That's so good of you. Charlie, I came up with a replacement name, non-cisgendered cattle enabler.
I think that's good. Yeah. That's good. That's. But you know, as Professor Tyrus explained, you know, I think it's an important history lesson. But my goodness, these people, do they not go to rodeos? Have they not been to the local county rodeo? Half of the cowboys are really attractive women wearing tight jeans and cowboy hats, and they're great. They're awesome.
I don't know. I've never been. They don't allow me to do those things. There's a height requirement.
This is why we need to get out into America more. Everybody needs to get out into America.
I'm not going anywhere. Kat, last word to you. I think you're for the change.
Yeah, I can't imagine being a woman at that school and having to go through something like that. To have to go to a school where the slogan has the word cowboy in it, no one should be expected to do that.
Yes.
And they all should get settlements.
Yes, they should. Imagine the pain they go through.
It's so ridiculous. I can't even understand people actually saying that this is actually something that would make students feel, who are female or who are not white, too uncomfortable to go there. First of all, who decides what school to go to based on a slogan?
Yes.
Like, I decided based on things like scholarship money or, you know, career prospects after graduation. I didn't just have like a book of slogans that I was looking at. Like, all right, let's pick the best one here. I agree with Joe that that was a ridiculous amount of money to spend on a slogan.
That is true. I'm trying to think. I went to Berkeley. I think the slogan was, "We don't bathe." Not sure. You know, I think they should change the name Sheep Herder to Sheep Hisder.
Wow.
Way to end it, huh? Way to take the air out of this great segment. And we're still going to leave it in. Coming up, did you know that Kylie Jenner is a self-made billionaire? Yes. Please kill me. Kylie Jenner could lend us all a tenner. This week, Forbes magazine put her on the cover. The mag predicts that thanks to her $900 million cosmetics empire, she's on track to become the youngest self-made billionaire ever. She'll be 21 next month. In short, this story is why America is the greatest country ever and also the worst country ever. I mean, it's great that she got so rich on her own, but it's not me. And that's not fair. I should be rich, not her. It's bull. For more, thank you. Let's check in with our Kylie Cosmetics correspondent who's been testing the products all day. So, Mike, how are they?
They're great, Greg. Kylie's a genius. Back to you.
That is the scariest. That scares the hell out of me. Also, I'm slightly aroused. Charlie, I think this is a great sign for America.
I think it's great, too. I mean, I think that if you can launch a career based on a sex tape, not even your own sex tape, somebody else's sex tape, and then you wind up a billionaire, I think it's a marvelous thing. You know, Stormy Daniels, I get tired of all of her stuff, but the one thing that I do admire about her is she takes her moment in the spotlight and shakes her moneymaker and goes out there and makes a living off of it. And there's nothing more American.
That's America. It's a free market.
I would do it myself if I could get any money.
Yeah, no, I would pay you not to.
I get paid not to do it. Exactly.
I would pay you not to shake your moneymaker. Kat, how sad are you about this story from 1 to 3 million?
I'm not sad about it. I am mad about it. She's not self-made. I don't understand in what universe that she's self-made when her parents put her on TV starting when she was a little kid. So starting when she was a little kid, she had all this fame. And now she's using this fame by putting her famous name on products, and that's how she's making money.
Yeah.
She didn't have her famous name. She'd just be another pair of big lips floating around a pool in Calabasas. Facts only. Facts only.
I disagree. I think she's incredibly talented. All right, Joe. Joe, she started the company 3 years ago. She's almost a billionaire. How long have you been doing comedy?
I've been doing comedy for 13 years. My mistake this entire time was having talent. I should have just gave away my dignity and made money that way. I can't figure this audience out. They like the Star Wars sequels. I do think self-made is a grandiose term. That's like calling a Kennedy a Washington outsider.
Yes.
Because it's not like she was in the lab making those lipstick products. Someone's like, hey, do you want money? And she said, yeah.
Tyrus, what are we missing here? I think this is a positive story.
Positive for who?
For young people.
Young people everywhere. If you're not born into money, and if your sister doesn't fool around with kind of famous brothers on tape for people to watch, you're not going to make it. Like, I mean, I guess it's self-made because she went to her parents and filled the check out for them. Dad, all you have to do is sign there. So I guess it's kind of self-made. But where I believe what's self-made is someone who has a story. Like they came from nothing. They did this, they did that. They had 3 kids, whatever. They found their way and they built this empire on American blood, sweat, and tears. Not, but Daddy, I want a makeup company.
Yeah.
You know, I mean it's just crazy. You know.
It's important as a young person to own something, and it's something you love, and you make it into a product. I think this is a great role model.
But she didn't do that, Greg.
I'd like to believe she did. I would. You know the money figure? It doesn't bother me. It's so astounding that it doesn't bug me. But if she were slightly wealthier at 21 than I am now, I would hate her guts. But the fact that she's like a zillion times richer, it's like, I can't even aspire to that. I don't even know what that is. Don't go anywhere. Final thoughts next. All right, we're almost out of time. Joe, where are you performing next?
I am going to be at the Comedy Cellar at the Hotel Rio in Las Vegas this coming Wednesday through Sunday. Check it out.
You got to see him. He's hilarious. All right, thanks to Charlie Hurt, Joe Mackey, Kat Timpf, Tyrus,